What's up, my crypto people? How are you doing? Bitcoin has been a bloodbath. Price is going down like crazy. A lot of FUD coming out. What should you do? Is the bull run over or not? Let's figure it out together. So let's jump into the market to see what's happening. So if we have a look at Bitcoin at this moment at 83.7k, Ethereum at 2,200, XRP at $2.13, Solana at $144. So Bitcoin wicked down all the way to 78 and something k. If we have a look at Bitcoin on TradingView, we can see based on the hourly time frame that these ribbons are converging. So Bitcoin wants to go higher. Based on market cipher down here, this red money flow, we can see it's also curving up. So I think Bitcoin will be going higher coming hours. If we look at the daily time frame, that's not so good news. So we wick down the 200 moving average. And if we look at market cipher, we also have this green money flow going into the red. Seems like it wants to curve up again. If we're below the 200 moving average, that's not so a good sign. So if we look back historically, there were some points we wicked down below the 200 moving average. So hope we go up quite quickly again. But seeing that these ribbons are really curving sharply downwards, hope it's something like this or maybe like this, that we can curve up quite soon going up again. But I would say be cautious. It could be that there's still some pain ahead. If you look at the crypto bubbles, there we can see the market is divided. Big gainers like Bera. Yeah, the market has been really rough last days. A couple of days ago we had that 1.5 billion hack on an exchange of Ethereum. I think in the meantime they found the guys who did the hack. That will be restored. I don't know all the details about that. It's a lot of FUD scaring people, and I think because of these kind of things, these news coming out, people tend to sell their coins, and that's why the market tumbles like that. But there's also another reason we can see why this is happening. So we have another reason why Bitcoin tumbled, and that is the Bitcoin CME futures gap. So Bitcoin CME futures is like when people trade on the exchanges, they have like a sort of, it's called a certificate that they bought Bitcoin. But since Bitcoin trades 24/7 and the CME futures only trade from Monday till Friday, if Bitcoin closes, for example, on Friday on this 78k and then on Monday it opens on 80k, then we have this what we call the CME gap. So it jumped from that 78 to 80k, and normally experts say that based on history, Bitcoin always needs to close these gaps. So somewhere in the future we have to go down to that 78.3. It doesn't have to be that exactly, but normally based on history it goes back and closes that gap and then continues higher. So if one gap here and one gap here, for example, this one is also a gap, and we can see we've closed it. So we went past that gap and then went further down below. So we're expecting that somewhere here in the future we will be closing that gap. So if we have a look at Bitcoin on the daily time frame, there we can see that we wick down here. And if we look here at this part, we can see an H and an L. And that's the high and the low of the day. And if I move my mouse downwards, you can see the daily high was at 86.9k and the daily low was at 78.179. And if we look back at that CME gap, it was at 78.03. So we didn't quite go all the way down to that 78.03, but sometimes we just have a small gap open, or sometimes on some exchanges it did close or not, and then we can continue higher. So either we did close it already with the part that it already went to that daily low of 78.179, or if we look that we have a short here on a daily time frame, maybe we can still wick down, go down further down below, but it seems that it's not going to go further down below since we are already sort of recovering. But let's see what the future will bring. I don't have the crystal ball, But I would say don't panic, because these are normal things that Bitcoin tends to go down like 20%, 25%. So I would say keep holding your diamond hands and don't sell your Bitcoin, because that's what the market wants you to do, to sell your Bitcoin, creating fear and panic and stuff like that. And if we also have a look, for example, have a look to the stock to flow model, we can also see we just went down here. We're starting to create that orange part, and if we look back to the history when we have that orange part, then it's when we're going to start to really go up. This is one example. Here's also another example. When we go into that orange area, then we tend to go up to that green area. The last cycle we had that orange part, we went down to the yellow part and still got up, so we had a double peak. So if we tend to go up like this, and if this stock to flow doesn't break like the last years, then we should be going to 400k. So let's see what that will be doing. So I don't only talk the talk, but I also walk the walk. So if you look at my portfolio also has been down like 25%, but I'm not selling anything. I didn't sell any coin. Another nice chart that I have for you guys is the long-term power chart. It's a chart that has one resistance line and one support line of Bitcoin. Is in a logarithmic chart. So we have like 3 touch points on the resistance part here, 1, 2, 3, and then on the support part, the red line, we have several other, let's say, touch points, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that Bitcoin is being supported by this red line. And based on this chart, there's really no need to panic. So I would say keep holding your diamond hands. Don't be shook by the FUD in the media, because Wall Street is trying to get your Bitcoin, trying to get you to sell it. So I would say hold your diamond hands, and we will see Bitcoin be going up again in the future. And if you look in one of my previous videos, there was also a part where Tom Lee was saying that probably will be going down to 60k, and then afterwards that we're going back to 150k, maybe even 250k. But that's what the experts are saying. I would say don't panic, and if you like this content, like, subscribe, get the vibe, and as always, I'm out.